Hello, everyone. It's me again. I just got home from Phoenix. We were exhibiting at the Centurion Show, a show that ran from Sunday through Tuesday night in Phoenix at the Biltmore Hotel. For all of you who don't know, the Centurion Show is a relatively small diamond and jewelry show attended by, for the most part, some of the country's top independent retailers who are hosted by the vendors who are also, for the most part, some of the more elite companies selling to them. I thought it would be interesting to report to you what I think the sentiment was there, as it may be helpful towards planning for 2024. To be honest, my expectations going into it were quite low. My wonderful team, comprised of Nikki, Angela, and Deborah. By the way, I believe that they are literally the best team on the entire show floor. Also came to the show with muted expectations. But I can report to you that the overall sentiment was much more positive than we anticipated. Jewelers were cautiously optimistic about the year, and they did exude an energy that I was not expecting. Although there was a decent level of buying, we did find, not only from our personal experience, but from speaking with many of our fellow vendors, that it was not with the same enthusiasm as in years past. And that's because, and I'm speaking now for the diamond world, that there is still uncertainty as to how the threat from synthetics will manifest in this coming year. There were many jewelers who will not touch a lab-grown diamond, and they are holding the line on conveying to their customers the rarity, the emotion, and the sense of preciousness that only a natural diamond can accomplish. But on the other hand, there were many, many jewelers who sell them both. And they said that the number of units of engagement rings containing synthetic diamonds comprised anywhere from 50 to 80% of their sales by units. Not sales dollars, but units. That's a lot. With few exceptions, they're not happy about it, especially now, as they feel that sooner rather than later, the high margins of what I like to call the Wild West of lab-grown diamond marketing and margins will disappear due to normal market forces of supply and demand, leaving them with a fair margin when the dust settles, however, on an extremely low-priced item, leaving them with fewer absolute dollars to pay their overhead and expenses. So to that end, I could also highlight that the Natural Diamond Council was at the show, doing their best to promote the virtues of natural diamonds. And De Beers, too, was there, promoting the tracer technology and their origin report. To that point, I believe that there are two disparate schools of thought. One is that they're spending all of this time, energy, and effort on giving us a solution to a problem that we simply do not have. That's because, and I think without exception, every jeweler you speak to will tell you that something like 99% of people buying natural diamonds are not actually asking where they come from. However, the other school of thought says that although consumers are for the most part not currently asking for it, notwithstanding those who would like you to believe otherwise on that point, by the way, but all the jewelers that we speak to, they say nobody's asking for it. However, in the very near future, we will have our heads in the sand thinking that this is not something that needs to be done. And if we do not proactively act now with programs such as Tracer and Origin, we will lose ground and even more market share over the years. I don't really claim to be smart enough or prophetic enough to know which of these two theories are correct. So I will just say that everyone should make themselves aware of the options and should involve themselves in the dialogue, come to their own conclusions, and act on it accordingly. I also realize that the strategy has been to promote the virtues of natural diamonds without directly pointing out the misleading notions swirling around lab-grown. But I will point out that I can hearken back to many advertising campaigns in other industries that have successfully done both at the same time For those old enough to remember, the Can You Hear Me Now cellular phone campaign is one that comes to mind, or the Pepsi Challenge would be another. I leave this to the greater advertising and promotion minds, but in my very myopic view of things, no siblings will ever fight over Mommy's Lab-Grown Diamonds campaign would not be such a bad idea. But getting back to the show, in conclusion, I can say that I'm returning from the show with optimism and hope. The networking opportunities were fantastic. The energy generated by being together in a small, focused environment was certainly most welcome at the beginning of the year. The sales generated at the show, and I do thank profusely all of those who spent money with us at the show and showed us a vote of confidence. That was also a very, very nice way to begin the year. And I also look forward to future sales that will be generated as a result of some very lively and interesting meetings and conversations that were had over these last few days. All that is tempered, however, by the knowledge that it's really not business as usual. We do have our work cut out for us, and it is up to every single one of us to do their part and seeing to it that diamonds, natural diamonds, remain the cherished and coveted part of people's most valued possessions, as they have been for literally centuries, if not millennia. Have a great rest of the week, and have a relaxing weekend.